And up first for this week's review is going to be The Heroic Villain, book number 3, written by Charles Dean. This is 383 pages, $3.99. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. Here's the author's description. After a night of drunken debauchery, following the defeat of the Academy's headmistress, Lucas awakens to trouble on all fronts. The steady balance of power within the Imperium has been shaken by his presence, and the resulting afterflow is a town full of heavily armed and well-staffed enemies that seek Lucas's death. Lucas must not only survive their assault, but also manage his own slowly crumbling internal affairs when his party begins to fracture. Angered by Lucas's increasingly selfish actions, some of his closest allies are tempted to turn against him. Follow our protagonist while he tries to grow his influence within the Empire, survive the daggers in his back from Imperium traitors, and restore the relationship he truly wants with the woman he has slowly fallen in love with in this epic LitRPG adventure from Charles Dean. So there you go. Full disclosure, I received an advance copy for review. I purchased a copy when it became available. This novel delivers exactly what is promised. And actually the end of the first arc in the series. I don't know if the author is actually going to continue on with it. Kind of depends on sales. But this is actually a nice little conclusion. He wraps up all the things he wanted to in the story, caps off that relationship issue in there as well. And I think it delivers a nice ending. I might slightly be biased. I think there's a character in there named after me. A lot of RPG authors will just drop little name drops for the podcast because they like the show, which I always appreciate. But this has always been a very well written, well thought out, entertaining story. I like the first book in the series. I think the very best just because it touched on some really interesting themes. But the series, as it's continued, has expanded the cast, expanded kind of the scope of the story, and this one does a nice, satisfying ending for a lot of the series fans of kind of capping things off. There's good action, adventure, character development galore. The only thing I kind of wanted was more story. I actually thought that this felt a little short. I mean, it's still like almost 400 pages, but the story felt like, oh, there is going to be more. And it has a good solid ending. I was expecting, I guess, maybe a little more world exploration in the series, something along those lines. But this has a nice, good ending. Not as good. Not as, of course, expansive as I wanted, but still, that's one of the things. Like, you want a series to continue sometimes, where you're just like, oh, this is so fun. Why does it have to end? And that's kind of what it is. This score on this review is going to be 7.4 out of 10. The Heroic Villain is kind of coming in for now, apparently. So that's The Heroic Villain, book number 3 with the score of 7.4 out of 10.